Hello, I'm Jonathan,
And I'm Matt.
and we have another Wookies on X-Wing game for you guys.
This is game 2 of our X-Wing event that we ran, and this time it's our another Matt, versus Ian, and let's see how this game unfolds. So it's actually an Imperial versus Imperial game. It's 3 TIE Phantoms versus Ian playing a TIE Phantom, Darth Vader, and Carnor Jax.
So this is going to be a very interesting game because Imperials usually have a lot of numbers on their side. Having a low ship count like this is going to bring a very interesting matchup. 3 Phantoms are very, very dangerous, especially with the ability to outmaneuver their opponents. But you know how I love Darth Vader, so
Yeah, Ian's playing a really interesting list. It really is very counter to our local meta, as it were, and kind of the national scene as a whole. He's playing 3 very high pilot skill Imperial pilots. So we'll see how that works out for him.
now Darth Vader has Squad Leader on him, and I believe he also has Carnor Jax in there.
And the Phantom is Whisper.
So Darth Vader, with Squad Leader being able to hand out actions after the fact, after moving, is going to be a very, very interesting ability in this matchup. Especially since I believe if you have 3 Phantoms, one of those Phantoms is going to be relatively low pilot skill. Being able to tell one of your fighters to barrel roll right into the perfect position, arc dodging even, is going to definitely give Ian a lot of game in this matchup.
So a nice quick asteroid deployment and a nice quick deployment as a whole puts us right into first turn.
Looks like for the most part the asteroids are fairly well spaced out. Both players have Phantoms, so they don't necessarily want to get bogged down in between them. Not being able to decloak really will hurt a Phantom.
Yeah, decloaking or losing your action. It's not a fun time.
So the 3 Phantom player is moving forward and cloaking with all of his Phantoms. A very standard first turn Phantom turn. And Carnor Jax going right in between those asteroids, hopefully using those asteroids to his leverage against the Phantoms in future turns.
We can see Pat from our last video in the background playing his fire sprays.
So Carnor Jax boosted to get a little bit out of the way of those asteroids for future turns, getting in a really strong position. And you can see that the other Phantom has already cloaked. Now what Darth Vader is probably going to be doing is staying close to Carnor Jax within range 1 or 2 just to give those actions out.
Yeah, the fact that Squad Leader works at the range 2 band it's impressive. Brings a huge amount of flexibility to the upgrade.
Most impressive. Darth Vader having those 2 actions also extremely helps. A lot of people will use push the limit on other ships to just have an extremely high action economy. And you can see after he uses Squad Leaders to give Carnor Jax a barrel roll action, Darth Vader barrel rolls himself. And now on to the second turn. Very quick turn. Looks like everyone's locked in. Phantom players moving forward. Decloaking, going right near those asteroids. Those Phantoms definitely have an advanced cloaking device on them. It really makes the Phantom player want to get right in the thick of it early on. As soon as you get a firing shot, you get to cloak right afterwards. And the fact that the decloaking gives you a barrel roll of 2 or a forward boost of 2 after you decloak means that getting in that perfect firing position is easily done.
Here we see Echo. Trying to figure out where in the heck is this guy going to end up.
Echo's ability really takes a master behind the works of it in order to make it fully effective. The fact that you're not using their standard straight maneuver but a curved maneuver definitely gives you a lot of options when trying to position your ships. But at the same time, you have to really be able to plan ahead of time to knowing what you're going to do. A lot of practice to make that ship work worth your while.
Just misses the asteroid on that bank. Very close flying there.
It's one of those things that you never know if it's luck or a really good spatial awareness. But in this game, both of those things are required. Darth Vader just missing that other asteroid.
There we see that range 2 come into play. Such a nice ability.
Well, it was built for Darth Vader for pretty much. You can put squad leader on other ships, but you are always going to be taking second seat to Darth Vader when it comes to that kind of functionality. And the last Phantom moving forward. It looks like the fact that it looks like the 3 Phantom player is at a bit of a disadvantage, having to move most of his fighters before Ian. The fact that that Phantom can position according to where those Phantoms are going to go definitely is a strong suit for an already strong list.
And that it wins those advanced cloaking ties, as it were. It can shoot and disappear, and when it's going to get returned fired at, then it's already cloaked.
I would say that the bane of the cloaked ships is high pilot skill, also turreted weapons. And while we don't see turreted weapons in this, we definitely see that high pilot skill. So the first shots have been fired.
Firing at a Phantom at range 3 through an asteroid is going to give it a lot of dice, even if it only starts with 2.
Ooh, a bad roll for the Phantom player.
This is that's where you can start losing real expensive ships real quickly.
Yeah, the Phantom really does bank on some element of luck, and even though focusing is a really good action, you still have to be able to roll those eyes on those defense dice. Return fire. Not exactly what the Phantom player wants, but it's gonna hit something.
Looks like it took the shields off Vader there.
In my experience, if you are facing against somebody that's using Darth Vader, you have one or two strategies. If Darth Vader is indeed the foundation of an action economy, you either have to completely focus him down, which is tricky because if a Darth Vader player realizes that you're going to be doing this, he can just be very defensive, or you can completely ignore him. Meeting middle of the road is not going to win you games.
Oh, and that one Phantom's getting hit hard. Nice roll there, though.
Those attack rolls are very solid. Focusing is usually the best bet for these Phantoms here.
Carnor took a big hit there.
The Phantom player might have to deal with Carnor as soon as possible. His ability to negate focus is going to hurt mid-game.
Oh, that gets so annoying. Whenever I see Carnor, it's like, I don't care who else is there. He dies now.
Yeah, I usually have concussion missiles or homing missiles with his name on it.
Yeah, for sure.
For a Rebel player's perspective, it's always good to try to ionize him.
Yeah, he can get fairly predictable where he's going to move then.
Looks like the Phantom player is trying to focus fire Carnor as quickly as possible. 3 potentials.
We got him.
Carnor Jax is out of the game. Very strong move for the Phantom player. But at this point in the game, it was really the only right choice to do. Shooting at those Phantoms was, or Darth Vader through an asteroid, was not going to be as...
It's not going to be very effective.
Not compared to getting rid of Carnor Jax. See the decloaking trickiness of the Phantoms. Low pilot skill Phantom moving first. Presumably out of the way of the other ones. Fortunately going through an asteroid. Now, it doesn't necessarily matter as much with these fighters, provided they get a shot off. Being able to get a cloaking device, or a cloaking trigger off of an attack roll can definitely make or break the Phantom when it loses actions like that.
Looks like he's looks like the Phantom player's trying to set up a box for Darth Vader, trying to burn him down. There's that's the thing I like about Echo. Just with that bank for his decloak is he can end up in so many strange spots. You never quite know where he's gonna go.
I completely agree with you there. Makes it very tricky for the opponent to figure out exactly what Echo's going to do, especially if the Imperial player doesn't know what Echo's going to do.
Yeah.
So it looks like Darth Vader is going in to blast that small Phantom.
He's gonna try to face tank it, but he does. He is gonna be shooting first, so that Phantom is not cloaked. It's not where it wants to be.
A good couple of lucky hits might be able to deal with that Phantom early on.
Ian still has his Whisper that's shooting before the other 3, so we'll see how that Whisper gets close enough. She'll end a ship.
Absolutely. And Darth Vader does have the tankiness in both defense dice and hull to survive a round of combat. However, having those shields being planked off of it already makes it a very risky maneuver for Ian. Let's see if his action economy pays off for him. It looks like Ian's trying to figure out what he wants to do with that Phantom. I could tell that he wants to go gunning for the middle Phantom, but at the same time he's not exactly sure what he wants to do with that low pilot skill Phantom, if he wants to deal with it right now or deal with it later on in the game. Looks like he's just going to be setting up for a next turn, but we won't know until what he does for sure until he reveals that pilot, that dial.
Uh-oh. Some good flying. And he is able to make the barrel roll. That's gonna be trouble.
So setting up like this means that Phantom is most likely going to be dying this turn.
Oh yes. Especially it's already target locked by both of them. Yep. Oh yeah, it's gone.
That's when I was just like, remember, and I was like, screw it. Yeah, that was what I was thinking about.
Now Darth Vader is free to fire at the other Phantom.
Well, I guess with just that shit.
Is that that's Whisper remaining, or is that?
No, that's the low pilot. That's
it
pilot
is a
skill
low
3.
pilot skill. Yeah, it is the Whisper that died, isn't it? Oh, that's rough.
Losing one of your heaviest hitters that early on is going to be rough.
Oh, big shot into Vader.
But the great thing about Phantoms is you can recover, especially if you outmaneuver your opponent.
4 hits, and Ian rolls 4 defenses, and Vader survives against all odds. And 2 more defense. Yes. Ian had a very good turn there.
Well, one of the strengths with the Imperial fighters, especially such as Vader, is having those that high defense dice count. The fact that Vader makes the best of both worlds with both hull points, shields, defense dice, and a reasonable dial makes him a fighter that is great for a base for squad leader.
That's a fun little maneuver to do, decloak and then do a K turn.
As long as you can pull it off and not get fired back, it's definitely a good one.
Yeah. So we'll see what's going on here. Yeah. Whisper does the smart thing there and recloaks. Whisper not going to get a shot and is probably going to get shot, so the safe play is just, alright, let's disappear.
At this point in the game, though, it might be worth it to let Vader just get some of the work done.
Oh, it looks like he is. He may have gotten out of arc there. We'll have to see come the combat phase. So he might have just gotten out there.
Well, if Vader can take out that low pilot skill Phantom and not get a shot back at him, it's really going to limit the Phantom player's options.
So it looks like Ian's he's deciding what is Vader's other action. He just went for focus. So here we go. Got combat.
Very nice roll from Ian there. That focus really definitely paid off.
And here we see the oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, lost to a direct hit. That is unfortunate. Well, it's one of those things that the Phantom, if you get hit hard, you're going to lose it. This does not look good for the Phantom player. Trying to determine if he was an arc.
If it's through an asteroid. Looks like closest visible point is.
From this angle, it doesn't look like it is, but it's not our call to make. In a tournament like this, when you have rules discussions, if you cannot come to a consensus soon, you easily call over a judge and they would determine that. But looks like these two players want to try to figure this out quickly rather than to do something like that. And they came to a consensus, it looks like.
That's range. Taking a shot. Alright, and let's see what happens. Oh, Vader takes a big hit.
And Vader's gone. It's one Phantom versus one Phantom. Let's see what happens here. This is a very tight game. You see that advanced sensors kicking in.
Advanced cloaking, yeah. Alright, so next turn. Here we are, 1-on-1.
Let's see if this is going to become a cat and mouse game or a dogfight.
Yeah, but that could be 2 damage now. Phantom is going to check our opponent's impossible shot. Yeah, so Phantom's going to shoot your bounty hunter. Okay. Come on in, brother.
Unfortunately, at this point of the game, with the limitation on the number of actions they can perform, if these two Phantoms get a shots at each other, it might just be whoever rolls better. But that's the way of the game sometimes, especially when you're going to leave it to luck. So Looks like the Phantom player is trying to figure out what action he wants to perform. Oh, and he recloaks. Very interesting move.
Oh, and Whisper just sensor echoes past that asteroid. It's a very, very powerful ability. Let's see how this one goes. That's gonna be at least range 2 through an asteroid. So it's 4 versus at worst 5. And Whisper spikes it hard.
Oh, that is just rough. Lost 2 shields on a stray shot. Rolling that many defense dice, he should have gotten at least 3 defense dice, but you know, that's the way of the game sometimes.
Sure is.
So we're getting to the end game here. Can't tell for sure who's going to... It's anyone's game still, with the Phantoms being as powerful on the offensive as they are. Looks like Echo is trying to do a K-turn to get out of harm's way. Sharp 1 turn might be the end for Echo.
That'll do.
Well, Sharp 2. And this is just perfect example of how dangerous a cloaked ship can be. Especially one with the amount of attack dice as the Phantoms.
And that's it.
Looks like the Phantom player has conceded, knowing that he's gone. And that is the match. So remember to like, favorite, and subscribe. And stay tuned for the next couple of games that we have from our event.
We've got 2 more for you guys coming up. Thanks for watching.